So with the start of 2024, everything's supposed to go great, right? Not always. In fact, we're going to take a look at some of the reasons why some of the material on this channel has been a little lacking. Okay, so this all started when I started playing around with older Intel stuff. I ordered, and it seems to be really, really popular right now that people are still clicking on it, when I bought the cheapest PC I could find on Amazon. Now, this is before a lot of people, well, I'm not going to say before a lot of people, because I'm sure people did it anyway. But I found a refurbished 4th gen complete computer on Amazon for $150. It came with a keyboard, mouse, and a 4th gen. I think it was a 4570 or 4670 or something like that, which is a little bit of a surprise. Functional, but we'd played around with that a little bit. Well, that led me to think, okay, maybe I can put a Xeon in there. Well, because of the constraints and heat and all that stuff, that Xeon didn't perform that much better. Still, we'll get to the point, don't worry. As we progressed here, we thought, okay, well, maybe I'll just do something else with that Xeon. And eventually, it was going to become my server. But I needed a different motherboard because the motherboard I had just wasn't going to cut it. And especially not because I put it in, it's an Optiplex with a Dell motherboard, and I was then thinking about maybe putting it in an HP case. So I ordered a new motherboard that, lo and behold, came as a bundle. With 8 gig of memory, a 4550, I think it was a 4550 or 4570, but anyway, a 4th gen, and it came with the CPU, motherboard, and memory, so it's like, boom, there you go. So that left the Xeon left over, and so I ordered a new motherboard for it, and I've been playing around with it. A couple videos back, you probably saw that I put it in a new home. I also got to thinking, AMD had some things going on about this time. Now, true, they weren't as well received because there was a little bit of a fib about their actual cores as opposed to virtual cores or what have you. But the AM3 and AM3 Plus platform was pretty budget-minded, and those CPUs could be had for a decent price. I remember having a 6350, and it served me pretty well. But I also remember breaking a motherboard or thinking I had torn up a motherboard. And so I had to put that on a new motherboard and eventually sold that computer down the line somewhere. Still had the motherboard though. So I broke out this MSI M970, I think it was, 970A G46 or something. I'll show a thing here. I don't remember what the model number was right offhand. AM3 Plus, a couple sticks for the RAM, DDR3. And it was an okay deal back when it came out. So I thought, all right, we'll just go ahead and order a CPU off of eBay and have a go. Well, the first thing I ran into is, even though I've seen videos on other YouTube channels with other people in other countries finding these FX CPUs dirt cheap, here they're still getting a decent going price for it. I was really surprised that I could spend about $20 on a 6300, but it would cost me like $65, $70, or $75 if I was trying to look for, anywhere from a 6350 up to an 8300 series. And first of all, I was amazed that they held their value that long. Second of all, I was really confused of why something that's, 10 years old is that expensive still. I have no idea, no explanation. So I ordered a 6300, FX 6300, and got to work. And the motherboard, I think, is still toast. So my thoughts were, order another motherboard. Yeah, been pricing those lately? Why is it still holding its value, of any kind of value? At this point, it wasn't, hey, look, let's order a $20 or $30 CPU and a $20 motherboard and see if we can still make this work. We're sinking over $100 into this stuff. And I'm like, I don't know. So maybe we'll put that off a little bit. In any case, couldn't get the AM3 platform or AM3 Plus platform to come up and run. So it's a fail. For the time being, it's a fail. I've got no results to show for a week and a half worth of effort. It is what it is. Many of you have also heard me talk about the Chromebox that I got. I went ahead and I was trying to do some things with it. It was going to require a different SSD, a larger SSD. I was thinking about upgrading the memory, which, spoiler alert, I did, but we'll get to that in a minute. And a couple other things. Didn't have a power supply, but I did find a power supply that worked. Finally, after getting through this and working through, I was able to go ahead and find out that it worked, it came up, but it was still attached to the enterprise account on the previous owner. So, of course, you have to undo that. I get that pretty much undone, and then realize that there is no way of putting an operating system back on there without downloading one from the internet, changing and all that rigmarole. Which at this point, I was thinking, let's make this a Windows 10 machine, so I wasn't worried about trying to do that. Now, I did get some helpful advice. There was a YouTube video that I'll link in the description, and Mr. Chromebox is a website where he has created a BIOS that you can convert these Chromeboxes to a regular PC that you can download any OS that you want to, whether it's Ubuntu or any other Linux distribution, Windows or whatever. With Windows, though, you will need a little bit larger SSD. So Paul ordered a larger SSD. I got a 128 gig SSD. It is a SATA. So I ordered it, and I have more memory, and I swapped everything in there, and I followed all the instructions, got everything set up where I could go get the BIOS. All I had to do was wait on the SSD. And it won't work. And it's not that it won't work because it won't work with the SSD. It's like I can't get it to turn back on at all. Zero. It's non-functional. And so now, yours truly, in addition to ordering the stuff for the AM3 platform that I still want to play with a little bit, but don't want to like go crazy all at once and spend $100, now I'm having to order another power supply for this Chromebox just to see if the power supply was the problem. Because when I plug that power supply up to a different item, it works. So I'm thinking the Chromebox might be the issue. So I'm going to sink the money into that. If nothing else, it's a power supply, and I don't have a problem keeping extra power supplies on hand. So those are just a couple of the examples. And it's not that I haven't been trying to get stuff out. I've actually ordered other stuff on eBay. I've got other projects going on, but they've been sort of a chronological thing, and I just wasn't used to having a couple things fail right in a row. But I thought, you know what? I need to share this as well as the stuff that does work. So there you have it. I know it's not exciting. I know it's not anything that's groundbreaking. I know it's not that informational, but what I need to like kind of convey to you guys is that it's okay to fail. It's okay because you learn something and you do something else and you rearrange and you figure out why maybe somebody else stopped doing that in the first place. And you got two choices. You can either keep doing the same thing the same way and bang your head against the wall, and we know how that goes. There's a whole theory behind that. Or you can change the method, the madness, and you can redo something and find a way to make it successful. So that's what I'm doing here. Now, that doesn't mean I'm not going to go back and revisit these two. I am, absolutely. But I'm going to change my testing method a little bit and try to figure that out. I'm also not going to go completely down the rabbit hole where I'm ignoring everything else that I need to do for this channel and for you guys. So if you found this video entertaining at all or found it interesting or whatever, I know you probably didn't learn anything from it except for the fact that the FX CPUs and the old AM3 Plus platform is still holding its value in the US for some reason. And it's not worth the effort. And the Chromeboxes are just a Chromebox. If you learned anything else beside that, yeah, throw a like on it. Give me any kind of comments. What projects or what things have you recently started off thinking, this is going to be a great year, only to find it blow up right in your face, for lack of a better word, right? Anyway, let me know down in the comments what your thoughts are. As always, like, subscribe, hit me up on the other socials and all that stuff. But if you don't do anything else, there's two things I'm going to ask you. Whatever your resolutions were for this year, do your best to keep them because you know you made them with good intention. But above all, above anything else, just be kind to each other. Just be good to somebody. It costs nothing to be kind. And it could make somebody's day. I mean, you have no idea. Smile, wave, hold the door open, just a friendly greeting of some type. You have no idea what kind of influence you can have on somebody else's day and not even realize you're doing it. So be good, you guys. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. And until next time, when I get myself into something I got no business getting into, another Optiplex. I'll see you later.